Hey guys, okay, we are going to talk about reflections today. We are still reviewing, so we are going to look at reflections and talk about the rules, etc., that go along with them. I've chosen two pictures in here to kind of show you so you can see some of the way reflections look in nature, etc. You'll notice on this picture on the left, I have a horizontal line of reflection. And I know my horizontal is my x-axis. Okay, so a horizontal line of reflection happens across my x-axis, and you'll notice when this was reflected, it actually turned upside down and it went up and down versus left and right, like you see on this right hand side. This one on the right with the two girls is another line of reflection, but this one this time is vertical. And I know a vertical line of reflection happens because my y-axis is vertical. So again, horizontal, I am going up and down. My picture is shifting up and down, or flipping, as we say. And for a y-axis, I am actually flipping left and right across the axis. So let's look at how our rules look for this. First of all, I am always going to start with my original coordinates. So no matter what my coordinates are, I call those my original x and y coordinates. Then something's happening. As you can see here, when I flip it, it changes. Okay, so I can very easily see there is a change, which means the point is moving. Okay, so on a coordinate plane, when you are going across the x-axis, if you recall, we discussed the fact with the x-axis, the x stays the same. Okay, so x stays the same. So when I am looking at my coordinates and I'm looking at the original x and y, my new x is going to be exactly the same. Okay, my y then changes, and the y part that changes is the positive negative of my y. So if my y was positive, it now becomes negative. If it was negative, it becomes positive. That's the only thing that changes. Okay, on a y-axis, the exact opposite happens. So with an x-axis, the x stays the same. With the y-axis, the y stays the same. Okay, so my y is going to stay the same this time. So again, same thing. I always start with whatever my original x and y is. My y this time stays exactly the same. And now my x value is going to change positive, negative. Okay, so let's look at some examples. All right, so reflecting across the x-axis, I have the letters A, B, and C. Okay, here is A. This is my original picture, and if you remember, our original is called the pre-image. Okay, and my pre-image is my original. Okay, now I want to change my original image. I want to go across the x-axis. I know this is my x-axis, which means when I move my picture should go from the bottom up to the top. Okay, now it's not going to wind up over here, because this is a rotation. It would need to slide around. Instead, I should wind up here in this quadrant. Okay, so let's look at this. All right, my first point A is at 1, 2, 3, 4, so -4, and then I'm going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -5. So that's my original point. Okay, because I'm going across the x-axis, the x stays the same, so my new point should be -4. And this time, all that happens is the y value switches signs. So it was negative, now it is going to turn positive. So I can come over here, -4 to the left. I go left because it is negative. Then I'm going to go up 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for B. For B, I am -2, -5. Again, my -2 stays the same because X value stays the same. And my 5, instead of being negative, turns to positive. So I'm going to do the same thing. Go left 2, up 5. I should wind up right there. Okay, same exact thing for letter C. C is now -2, -1. So the same thing then is going to happen. My X stays the same with -2. My Y value changes signs, and I should wind up right here. Now I am going to increase the size of my pen so I can color in and fill in my dots. This is now the prime. So this is A, B, C, prime. Okay, prime is what happens after I have done something to it. Okay, easy peasy. All right, let's look at the next one. Now I'm going across the y-axis. Okay, here is my y-axis at the top. I know because my y is vertical that my triangle is going to move this direction. You're going to do the exact same thing. This is my original. And again, my original is my pre-image. Okay, and I'm trying to find my prime. So I've got A, B, and C. I'm going to do the exact same thing. This time my A is at -7, -6, -7, -6. Y-axis, Y stays the same. Okay, so stays the same. So that means my X is going to change. So my new X changes to positive, and then my -6 Y value stays the same. So I'm going to do the same thing. -7 up to 6. I should dot right there. Okay. Value for B is at -4, -6. So -4, -6, same thing. This time my -4, because that is my X value. So I've got my X comes first, always comes first. Okay. My X value changes to a +4. My Y value changes to, my Y value stays the same. Okay. I went the wrong way with that picture. Ha 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 ha. I plotted that the wrong side. Let me fix that first one. I apologize. Okay, so 7's way over here, down to 6. There's my first one. That should be A prime. I apologize for that. Okay, B prime. Now I'm at 4, -6. So I should be here. This one is B prime. Okay, this is why you label it as you go so you don't get confused. Okay, C is at -4, -2, which again, when I do this over, my 4 changes positive because that is my X value, and my -2 stays the same. So I'm going to go over to 4, down to 2. Again, I'm going to increase my pen size so I can fill in my lines here, much easier to see. This one again up here is C prime. So now I have ABC prime as a reflection of ABC. You'll notice again when we did this, look at how it changed. It stayed the same size, so I preserved my congruency, but I am facing this totally different direction, which means reflections keep congruency, they preserve it. Remember, preserve means to keep, but it changes my orientation. Remember, orientation is the way I am facing. Okay, hope this helps. Let us know if you have any questions at all.